Welcome back to Girl Talk. We're having a fantastic time just hanging out in the kitchen here at Bella Domicile. And we're going to chat with those folks later about the fabulous galley sink. I can't wait because I love the sink. But we're going to learn some more about Melanie Fritz today. We're talking with Melanie, who's Madison medium, and we keep learning more and more, but I'm excited. We keep wanting to pick your brain and dive more into this topic. Fun. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. We got lots of questions. We'll see what we get to. We always wind up chatting so long.
That's true.
What I want to ask you first, we want to kind of learn how it works for you, and it's such a fascinating topic for us. But you're essentially having a conversation in some ways, as I understand it. Now, do you actually visually see people, or is it more a conversation? Like, how does that work for you?
That's a really good question. It's almost like a computer accepting a download. So there are, first of all, there are times where I actually visually see people, much like if I said to you, what was your last Christmas like with your family? You'd go, huh, and you'd start to remember all the details. Okay. That's exactly how it starts to happen with me. I'll have an image of somebody that is not someone I know, perhaps, or maybe I'm honed in on cowboy boots, or something very specific. They don't always show me their physical appearance, but sometimes they do. But I don't see them like I see you right now, or hear them like I hear you right now. So oftentimes it's keywords that stand out. Like I will say, I don't know why they're talking about, I can understand unicorn, and the person will go, that was my thing with my loved one, that was something we collected or whatever. But oftentimes the message is more of a download, like a computer would take. So I kind of get a feeling for what it is I have to address, or a keyword, like maybe apologize will stand out, and then I'll have to kind of reel into that. But they're very finicky about how I say things. So I must articulate their personality a little bit. Sometimes I'll say, holy moly, this person's loud, or they're very sassy, or something, and immediately that the people make a connection with those things. But I find myself lately kind of moving my body almost like they would too, no, doing that type of stuff, with a really boisterous grandma or whatever, which that's new to me. I didn't used to embody their personalities.
Their energy has to be present, so it's almost like you're feeling that energy, and
exactly.
It's natural to then portray it.
Yeah, and oftentimes people will say, can I ask you a question? Or they'll start talking to me about something, and those are the moments where I do hear things. Like they will say, I'm having this trouble with my sister, and I'll hear the mother say, of course, why would, this is to be expected, or something along those lines. And oftentimes it's sarcasm, but regardless, I'll hear a response, and if I relay that will make a ton of sense to them as well. But it's actually almost as if they use every sense available to me, so I feel, when I walked in here today, I could feel that there's somebody that had heart-related issues that had departed, or lung-related anyway, because I can feel my heart beating really fast. I don't know who it's related to yet, but I can tell that it's here. And so I feel things, I hear things, my memory calls things up, it's all these things that we kind of, if you're not trained to hone it, you kind of just dismiss as noise in the regular world, Right.
And I love how you say that if you're not trained to. So are we all capable of channeling this?
Yes.
I mean, can we be taught to do that? Because you did say trained. And then is it just kind of more specific to our loved ones, or in any situation?
No, that's a very good question. They say, and this has been my experience too, if you can hear one, you can hear them all. But I think most people...
opening up a can of worms.
I know. Do you really want to do that? No, I know what you mean. And I think some people... I think we don't act most people don't even attempt something like this until they've really experienced raw grief, and they are so desperate that they are like, I will do anything to feel better. At which time they, either try to talk to the air on their own, thinking, it's worth a try, or they sit down and meditate and try to connect in whatever way. And I think oftentimes people are, because we have such a strong connection with our loved ones, we go, did I just make that up? I think I just got an answer, but did I just make that up? I know this person very well. But that's kind of what, yes, training helps you decipher what is yours and what isn't. And how we don't just have to take what we get from them either. That's the interesting part about training, is that you learn that, yep, when it comes through on its own, it's very loud and very obvious. I bet you probably 3 out of 5 people, if you polled them, have had some type of metaphysical experience, but it happened on its own. They didn't initiate it. What you are trained to do, or what I help people do, is to figure out, how do we turn it on? How do we initiate it on our own? And yes, everyone can do it. It just takes figuring out what dominant clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, like what is your dominant ability to connect, and how do you activate it regularly? So it just takes a lot of practice.
Kind of almost when you need it.
Yes. That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
When you need it the most, they find a way to reach you. Absolutely.
This is such a big topic, and we just never. It's like
I
we
know,
just hit
I know,
the surface.
time.
And what I want to just really quickly say is, trying to learn about this a little bit. It is so fascinating because you've helped so many people, and we've gotten to learn firsthand from Elise what that experience of working with you has done. And you mentioned, you don't necessarily reach out or think about this thing or become sort of desperate for it until you are experiencing that great loss. And so hopefully at home you're not in that place, but if you are, Melanie has helped many, many, many people, and thank you for sharing some of those things because it's just
absolutely,
it's big.
It's
So
helpful.
thanks.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you bet.
Melanie Fritz with Madison Medium. When we return, we are going to be talking to Bella Domicile. We'll be right back with Girl Talk. Stick with us.